On Showbiz Tonight, star-studded tribute concert reportedly planned for Aretha Franklin as Beyoncé and JayZ dedicates their concert to this great singing legend. Is Crazy Rich Asians looking at a crazy rich opening weekend? The movie hits over 3,000 cinemas worldwide. Will it soar or will it fall flat? And who's fishing for the #1 position at the countdown tonight? Can Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible continue to hang on to the spot, or will it be all washed out to a new entrant? Find out that and much more coming right up on Showbiz Tonight. Hello everyone, welcome to Showbiz Tonight, the show where everything showbiz is possible. I'm your host Mahieash Johnney, and in the next 30 minutes I'll let you know everything you need to know from Hollywood. What's in, what's out, and everything in between. Doing all that while counting down to the #1 box office movie of this week. A strong fight at the countdown right now. 3 movies are fighting it all out to be the #1 movie of this week. I'll tell you all about it as we progress with the show. Now remember, we are considering weekend box office sales of these movies instead of the weekday sales in determining the top 10. This is mainly because the day count changes every single minute, so it's impossible to take a good read on those data. Now before we head to the number 10th position this week, well, 3 movies are leaving the countdown. Teen Titans go to the movies. Last week's new entrant, The Darkest Mind, didn't do quite so well at the box office, and the third movie leaving the countdown is Incredibles 2. Don't worry about Incredibles 2. Despite its slip away from the countdown, the movie has managed to gain a massive paycheck during its 9 weeks of screening. So far, it has achieved $1.9 billion at the box office, making it one of the most successful animations for Disney. So let's begin the countdown and to the number 10th position. At number 10 this week is one from Marvel's Cinematic Universe, The Ant-Man and the Wasp. The Ant-Man and the Wasp end credit scene was a huge cliffhanger, but there was more in the film that connected the Avengers 4, which is coming next year. Now, the film's director, Peyton Reed, has revealed in a recent episode of a podcast, and he suggested that a time vortex mentioned by Janet Van Dyne in the movie could hold the key to the future. Ant-Man and the Wasp connected Avengers Infinity War to Avengers 4, in which Paul Rudd's Scott Lang is likely to play an important role in bringing the dead Avengers to life. Remember, at the end of the Infinity War, Thanos killed half of the universe's population with a snap of his fingers. Now, the plot of Avengers 4 will reportedly involve the surviving heroes traveling back in time via quantum realm and rescuing those doomed to die. I mean, I'm seriously going crazy over here. Have a look at a scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp, our number 10th movie of the week. It drops down 3 places from last week.
Dad, are you seeing this?
Hope, get out of there!
Well, at number 9 this week, dropping down 3 places from last week, is Sony's take on Dracula, Hotel Transylvania 3: The Summer Vacation. After raking in $370 million at the box office against a production budget of $80 million, well, I guess we can call this a very successful movie in terms of monetary value, just like the other 2 movies of this series. However, the storyline of Marty's taking her dad Drac and the crew on a summer vacation did not meet the critics' expectations. Now, on the movie critic side, Rotten Tomatoes has an audience score of 51%. Some are saying that it delivers the usual cheesy, silly comedy that everyone expects to see, and others are saying, well, I quote, "Don't insult your children by letting them near this." Yep, really harsh words indeed for a children's animated movie. Hotel Transylvania 3: The Summer Vacation is our number 9th box office movie of the week. Well, at number 8 this week is last week's movie that was at number 5, Denzel Washington's The Equalizer 2. The movie thus far has received a mixed reaction from cinemagoers. The ones that like the first movie definitely likes this one as well, especially the crusade Denzel Washington takes on in ensuring that the world has a superhero that doesn't wear a cape and yet fights for justice. Box office wise, this movie has managed to get around $100 million against a production budget of $62 million. Well, since it's only 4 weeks, let's Let's give it some time and see whether Denzel can change his justice to cash. Despite the low turnaround at the box office for a Denzel Washington movie, all is not lost. The critics are hailing Denzel's performance in this movie. Most are saying that this is one of Denzel's best work and that it gives the audience the badass Washington they all want to see, like that one of Training Day. Well, before we continue with the countdown, let's get you up to date with the latest news from Hollywood.
Beyoncé and JayZ sent their loves to Aretha Franklin by dedicating their Detroit OTR 11 show to the Queen of Soul. Queen Bee made this sweet tribute after performing the opening number at Ford Field. The couple's opener, DJ Khaled, played Franklin's hit Respect, generating roars of applause from the audience. Another update on Demi Lovato. Lovato reportedly suffered a near-fatal overdose after smoking oxydone laced with fentanyl, the same toxic combination of drugs that killed Prince as well as rapper Lil Peep. The Tell Me You Love Me singer was having a party at her Hollywood Hills home on July 24th, where she allegedly phoned a drug dealer she had been using since April, as reported by TMZ. Following a 2-week stint in an LA hospital, Demi reportedly flew to Chicago, where she is currently undergoing treatment with a specialist. Lindsay Lohan has apologized for any hurt and distress caused by comments she made on the #MeToo movement. The statement follows backlash after Lohan was quoted as criticizing attention seekers in a recent interview with The Times.
Well, let's get back to the movies and to our countdown. At number 7 this week is Cher-loving, street-styling, sing-along movie of the season. It's none other than Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again. Last week it was at number 4 and it drops 3 places this week at the countdown. Maybe all that singing and dancing must be getting people tired. Now, last week I told you as to why Meryl Streep didn't want to be part of this movie in a major way. Now, this week I want to talk to you about the person they brought in to be the star of the movie in place of Meryl. It's none other than Cher, the goddess of feel-good music. Just listen to her explaining as to how she landed this role for this movie.
Well, my friend, who used to be my agent, who's the head of Universal, he called me and said, "You're doing Mamma Mia 2," and hung up. And so normally I wouldn't do it just because of one person saying it, but he happened to be the right person.
Yep, that's it. Just a single phone call and voila, Cher is singing ABBA. Soon after the movie, Cher announced that she will be releasing an album cover of all ABBA songs. So far, she has announced 11 ABBA songs that she will be singing in this new album, and the 12th song is going to be a surprise. But honestly, Cher and ABBA is indeed a match made in heaven. I've so far loved the 2 songs she released from the cover, and in the movie, her version of ABBA's Fernando, well, to die for. Have a look at the Cher moment on Mamma Mia 2. Here we go again, our number 7th movie of the week here on Showbiz Tonight.
They were closer now, Fernando. Every hour, every minute seemed to last eternally. I was so afraid, Fernando. We were young and full of life, and none of us prepared to die. And I'm not ashamed to say the roar of guns and cannons almost made me cry. There was something in the air that night. The stars were bright, Fernando. They were shining there for you and me, for liberty, Fernando.
Well, this weekend gets off to an early start with the Wednesday release of the much-anticipated romantic comedy Crazy Rich Asians, the first Asian-led studio film to hit theaters since the Joy Luck Club. The movie got started in over 3,300 locations with plenty of buzz behind it. We need to give it some time and see exactly how it will do and where it will place itself in the countdown next week. I'll have more on that. Alright, time for our new release of the week. For all you ghost-loving, scary-searching, soul-wrecking fans, there's a treat for you coming in a few weeks. The exclusive trailer was released this week, and boy oh boy, this is going to be a pissing-in-your-pants movie. If you love all the Conjuring movies of James Wan, well, this one, you're going to love it so much. When a young nun at a secluded abbey in Romania takes her own life, a priest with a haunted past and a novitiate on the threshold of her final vows are sent by the Vatican to investigate. Together, they uncover the order's unholy secret. Risking not only their lives but their faith and their very souls, they confront a malevolent force in the form of the same demonic nun that first terrorized audiences in The Conjuring 2, as the abbey becomes a horrific battleground between the living and the dead. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a sneak peek at this week's new release movie, The Nun.
I had a series of visions when I was younger. And after each one ended, the same thought would be stuck in my head.
What did you see?
I saw a nun. Word of my visions reached the church, and I was asked to accompany a priest to an abbey in Romania.
The abbey has a long history.
Valak.
Not all good.
What?
Shinigib down. Kalian's here.
Hello.
Well, it's time to get back to the countdown after cleaning yourself up. The next check-in is at number 6. This week, it's last week's new entrant at number 3, The Spy Who Dumped Me. Looks like the audiences are dumping this Mila Kunis Kate McKinnon comedy. It slips down 3 places this week. Now, Mila Kunis is indeed a good comedy actor coming from That 70s Show, which was a massive television hit, and also Family Guy. And well, Kate McKinnon, we all know, is a comedy genius with her work at Saturday Night Live. When you put these two together in paper, it should be a match made in heaven, right? Well, it doesn't seem so at the box office. Collecting a mere $31 million at the box office, here's a look at our number 60 movie of the week, The Spy Who Dumped Me.
I think it looks suspicious if we go through international security with no luggage and just a weird trophy, right?
Wait. Wouldn't it be more suspicious if we go through security with a suitcase that's totally empty except for the weird trophy?
Yes. We need more trophies then. That's what we'll do. We'll be the kind of women who jet off to Vienna with all of our awards. We're notable. We're recognized. We have trophies, baby.
All right, let's take a short commercial break. More from Hollywood on the other side. Stay with us. Celebrating birthdays today, former US President Bill Clinton turns 71. Friends actor and comedian Matthew Perry is 48. And musician, the beautiful Christina Perry, turns 31 today. Welcome back to Showbiz Tonight. We got the top 5 movies coming up, and let's go and check in straight at number 5. It is a new entrant to the countdown, and this movie is making all kinds of ripples around the world, mainly for being controversial. Now, director Spike Lee has lit a stick of dynamite in theaters world over during the weekend with the release of his latest feature, Black K Klansman. His serio-comic retelling of the Ron Stallworth's extraordinary story back in 1972, where Colorado Springs' first black cop and his Jewish partner succeeded in infiltrating the local Ku Klux Klan chapter, pushed a lot of present-day hot buttons. Critics grappled with complicated commentary on such charged topics as racism, code switching, the politics of police work, and radical activism. Now have a look and decide for yourself. Here's a look at Black K Klansman, our new entrant at number 5 this week on Showbiz Tonight.
Today we are privileged to be among white men and white women, such as yourselves. Real warriors for the real America, the America that our ancestors fought and died for. The true white American race, the backbone from whence came our great Southern heritage. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for never putting your country second. America first. America first. America first.
Well, at number 4 this week is another new entrant. This movie officially announces that the spooky season is upon us. Sony's Scream Gems rolled out their new thriller Slender Man in theaters this weekend, although it could only muster up a 4th place debut with $11.3 million. The good news is that the movie only cost the studio $10 million to make, but given this middling debut, this thriller starring Joey King and Javier Botet as the title characters is most likely dead on arrival, with a total that will likely top out between $25 million and $30 million. Now here's a look at our new entrant to the countdown at number 4, the Slender Man. Alright, before we check out the top 3, we want to give you something extra here at Showbiz Tonight. It's not always blockbusters and the big films. We also want to give you some idea as to what else is out there that would make your movie experience a better one. Introducing my movie pick of the week, which is my recommendation to you of an age-old movie that you might like and would help you to make your free time a better one. Certainly like this one, it's none other than the 1994's classic Shawshank Redemption. The Shawshank Redemption is a movie about the patience and loyalty, not sexy qualities perhaps, but they grow on you during the subterranean progress of this story, which is about how 2 men serving life sentences in prison becomes friends and finds a way to fight off despair. Starring Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins, this age-old classic would indeed be time well spent. Well, at number 3 this week is last week's number 2 entrant, Disney's Christopher Robin's. The movie is a spin-off of Winnie the Pooh. Since its release, there's only praise and glory all around for this movie by moviegoers and critics alike. Now, some are calling that the movie itself is Oscar-worthy. Jim Cummings, who lent his voice for Winnie the Pooh, has been praised for his work on the movie, saying that he hits the mark every single time. Critics are saying that he taps into a vein of humor and melancholy that is pitched at an exact frequency, one that will speak to child and adult alike. The movie is a merry marriage of human talents like Ewan McGregor and Hayley Atwell, along with voice artists like Cummings. At the box office, this movie has managed to bring in $62 million from a single week and makes it the number 3 box office movie of the week here on Showbiz Tonight.
And the game is called Say What You See. You first, Patrick.
Panic, worry, catastrophe.
Speed, danger, recklessness. Disgrace, shame, humiliation.
Well, that's one way to play it.
If Disney's Christopher Robins have taken the number 3rd spot on the countdown, well, who would have been able to make the number 2 spot? Is it a new entrant, or has Mission Impossible Fallout has faced an impossible task in hanging on to the 1st spot? Find out after this Hollywood news update.
It's Sabrina the Teenage Witch like you've never seen her before. Netflix has released the first images from the upcoming The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and the series looks downright terrifying. Kiernan Shipka stars in the coming-of-age story as Sabrina Spellman. Riverdale creator Roberto Aguirre Sacasa will helm the show, based on the Archie Comics book series that first appeared in 1962. Natalie Emmanuel, who plays Missandei on Game of Thrones, feels the final season of Game of Thrones is worth waiting for, as it will blow everyone's mind. The actor says it will bring closure to all the stories in an exciting but heartbreaking way. Game of Thrones Season 8, the final season, will air in mid-2019.
John's the one to lead the fight against the dead. I know he is. But he can't do it alone.
Well, all you Tom Cruise fans, I've got some bad news and some good news as well to tell you about Tom Cruise's new Mission Impossible saga. It has faced an impossible task of clinching to the #1 position. Sadly, after 2 weeks, it slips to the second spot this week. The good news is that the critics are indeed loving this movie, as some have called this to be the best work of Tom Cruise in a while. Well, the tale unfolds in Belfast, Berlin, Paris and London, and we follow as the action moves through all the monuments we recognize and love. Now, here's the gist of the story. Terrorist John Lark has designed a plan for the destruction of the world with 3 nuclear spheres that will do the job when the person has all 3 plus the key to ignite the one. Lark's plan are being carried out by his supporters, the Apostles, where is the missing plutonium ball. That's the gut of the film. Can Cruise find it and save the world? Well, last week's top spot to this week's second spot. This is Mission Impossible Fallout. Well, if Mission Impossible is at the second spot this week, then you know it's a brand new movie making the top spot. A new movie starring Jason Statham, The Meg. Yes, they couldn't find another name and they named it The Meg. Lands itself with a big splash as the #1 box office movie of the week. Jason Statham spent the weekend swinging around a harpoon and moviegoers apparently loved it. Not that The Meg did well with the reviewers' crowd. My own take was it was fun as long as Statham was front and center, but otherwise fairly forgettable. I was not alone. According to Rotten Tomatoes, the reviewers' ratings for The Meg were under the 50% line, registering with a 49% flat. One of the arguments for that is the film's obvious fishing for a PG-13 rating, meaning there was a whole lot less blood, gore and horror than most expected walking in. But reviewers' opinions didn't bother the film's fans. They loved the whole movie so much that they rewarded it with $436 million in a single weekend at the box office. Here's a look at our #1 movie of this week, The Meg.
What's that?
There's a monster outside.
That thing's out there. You need to find it and kill it.
Why don't you just put a tracker on it? Did you guys ever watch Shark Week?
Well, that's our show. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next Sunday at 9:35 p.m. on Showbiz Tonight. Until then, I'm Mahieash Johnney, and may the movies be with you. Good night.